you play dominant 7 chord, turns out, then you can just play Mixolydian over it. What are we going to talk about today? Well, there's been this thing that's been burning in my mind for a while, and that is chords that imply a mode. It's really kind of as simple as that. If you see a chord in a chord chart, and if you hear something, you know, what mode can you play over that? Is there some chords that have so many notes in it, or so many notes that apply to that mode, that the mode is the only thing you can play? That's what I'm going to figure out. I know that I've done a little bit of thinking about this before, and I know people have already figured this out. And that's not really the point. The point is for me to try to think through it and see what I come up with. Before we get started, I have to kind of acknowledge something. For those who don't know what modes are, it could really be its own lesson. And many people have talked long and hard about it, and a lot of intermediate guitarists have talked a very long time about it. It's kind of a fundamental hump, I would say, of in your intermediate guitarist journey as you move closer to an expert. So I'm not going to cover them in this video. I'm going to pretend at least we have a baseline understanding of what's going on, and it'll be that simple. So I'm going to actually start smack dab at number 5 there, Mixolydian, and let's see what we can get. I'm more of a visual person anyways, and I think what I'm going to do is highlight some of the important notes for Mixolydian in here, and then we can just see where the root and some of the other things kind of fall into place, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so 5th degree in the scale belongs to Mixolydian. If I've got C, I'm going to just arbitrarily count C, starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got G. G being our Mixolydian root here. And maybe I'll make them in kind of a darker gray or something. Okay, so we have our roots now. Good. Nothing too special there. When I'm thinking about the things that make Mixolydian, it's going to be some of those extra, I guess, interesting notes. So, another way I would describe this is Mixolydian is supposed to be a major type or major derived mode. We can definitely label some of the 3s and the 3 and the 5 intervals, but the thing that's going to make Mixolydian is going to be that flat 7. Let's just mark those in the blue. If I'm trying to find the 7, I can go 1/2 step down, and then the flat 7's 1/2 step down from that. So G, and then we're going to go F sharp, and then we're going to go F. What's next? Yeah, we might as well do the major 3rd in there too, because it's a pretty important chord tone. I'll make this, I like the 3rds a lot, personally, so we're going to make these green, make them stick out to me. Okay, we can do the 5th. I mean, chords need 5ths. I know jazz people don't really care about the one next to the bass, but why not? Let's be thorough. So let's grab the phrasing, please. Okay, so it kind of just looks like that. I already really have it, that flat 7, and then it's going to be 1, 3, and 5 for G. I kind of already know what that's going to be. If you have 1, 3, 5, flat 7, that's a dominant 7 chord. But let's go take a look and see if that checks out. Yep. Yeah, that looks like a dominant 7 chord to me. And this makes sense. I learned a really long time ago that even though the pattern for, if we're going up the scale and it's going C, D, E, F, G, then A, and then B, and then back to C. That whole thing is based on the formula that goes major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and then back. And then I learned pretty early on that said, oh yeah, for that 5, you can make it a dominant 7 chord instead. Oh yeah, sorry, I'll count them out. 1, the 2, 3, the 4, and the 5, which I said was major. You can make it the dominant 7 instead, then minor, and then diminished, and then back up to C. Yeah, I should have guessed this. But this is interesting. This raises an interesting point because if you, there's this concept as what is secondary dominance. So if I'm over here still in C, so I've got C major 7. In my 4, I'm doing another major 7, specifically F, and then G. You can do that dominant 7, and you go back. Real lot of tension, and it sounds great. It releases so great. This is really a really basic, just music theory concept of the 5's tension, the release, and going back down to the tonic, his home base, and is really nice. So there's this other concept that if you just want to get to another chord, you play whatever the 5th is, and you make it a dominant 7, and then you will automatically be allowed to go to where the root would be. So if I've got kind of something that in the beginning, where I said I was doing C, and then I'm doing the 4 chord, which is F, and then maybe if I swap it to F dominant 7, then I know that I can go back to where the 1 is, which is a B flat major. So to play it all up to speed. So it works. It just works. If you can figure out very quickly what Mixolydian is for whatever dominant 7 chord you're playing, well, I guess it's in the root, so it's very obvious. Let me put this a different way. If you want to even about to change keys and you just decide to throw it in, the dominant 7 in, you're gonna get you can just play Mixolydian over it. It's gonna be fine. What I'm gonna try to do is play the same progression, and then I'm gonna switch to Mixolydian instead and see what happens for both of them, which will be a key change. And another way you can think about it is I'm starting out with all the notes laid out on the fretboard as you saw before, and then all I'm gonna do is just move it back a whole step, and those are my new notes. So let's see how that sounds. So we've got So another way I can kind of cheat and do this, we've already identified these chords, and there's even actually another one which is really interesting. Chord namer. I'm just looking at these chords right now. It's like, I don't know, I'm using this other website for the first time, and it is just dumb as bricks. Like, I can put the same notes on here. It's gonna tell me the right chord. What the hell? Yeah, that other website, this website, there's something going on here. There's something happening here. Hey, editing the video now. Turns out I'm just stupid. So this is the chord website right here. And as you can see, if I actually do it again, but this time don't select the key, it gives me the right chord. So I don't know. I will be using it in the future though, so good to know. If you play dominant 7 chord, turns out, then you can just play Mixolydian over it. yeah, this has been Critical Guitar. Today we learned about modal chords specifically. My God. And we looked at Mixolydian. Next time we'll take a look at some of the other modes and see what else we got. But for now, my name's Cole, and I'll catch you the next time. Peace.